thank you very much for the opportunity to talk on this. I'm gonna try and help you get back on schedule, so my remarks will be brief. Ditto. Mr. Kavanaugh hit it spot on. There are so many checks and balances that are built into our federal system of governance that to ignore those checks and balances and to make the claim that we will have a convention of the states be a runaway convention. Now, I will say, a constitutional convention, I don't trust those jokers any further than I can throw them. But a convention of the states is very different. Because there are checks and balances in place, because there are limitations, because they have to actually bring it back to the legislature and get 31 and 16. I mean, look at what we've got going on right now. We don't have a budget because we can't get 31 people in the House and 30 and 16 in the Senate to agree. And that's our own budget. Now you turn into the federal world. So getting anyone to agree to anything is going to be problematic. Now the fact that the legislatures around the country will all have to agree on basically the exact same thing. I support convention of the states because it is of the states. When you look at the 9th Amendment, which empowered the people, and you look at the 10th Amendment, which empowered the state governments. You know, we don't teach civics much anymore. We don't teach the idea that the federal Constitution is a negative rights document. It is limiting the federal government. It restrains the federal government, although you wouldn't know it right now because they apparently are running through the field unrestrained, causing all kind of mandates, and whether it's the jab or the mask or a mandate that you can't talk, that you can't meet, that you can't assemble, that you can't speak up. They want you to sit down and shut up. Well, it's time for the states to put the federal government in its place, and that's what a convention of states will do. Moreover, the abuse of states. Shall we take a look at our most southern border right this minute? We have carfentanil, terrorists pouring across our border. Last count, 21 identified, I believe it's so far this year, on the terrorist watch list coming across the Arizona border. Secretary Mayorkas, you are a liar. Joe Biden, you are a liar. When you tell Americans that our border is secure, yet we have thousands and pretty soon hundreds of thousands of people coming across the border, what are the states to do? They have to call the federal government to yield to states' needs. We're not being invaded by Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. We're being invaded by a transnational narco-terrorist organization. We are already at war. Unfortunately, the feckless leaders, both at the state and federal level, have not a clue what to do. Meanwhile, the legislatures are trying to blaze a path on technologies, on boots on the ground, everything to support law enforcement. That's one example of what the Convention of States might be able to help us correct. So with that, I'm going to yield the rest of my time to the next speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to talk, and I appreciate every one of you coming out today.